What's up, guys? Today we finna be reacting to Toys R Us, so make sure y'all guys subscribe and like and comment. So today we reacting to the interest of Toys R Us, the creepy. Yeah.
This happened back when I was in high school. At the time, I think I was like 15, and most of my free time away from school was me either playing video games or hanging out with my friends. I had a pretty good number of friends at school, and would hang out with them all pretty frequently. I remember that one day, I was with my friends Jake, Sam, and Jordan. We all lived in the same city and could walk to each other's houses. We had been at Sam's house, who lived the farthest away from me, and also within walking distance of our houses there was a shopping center with stores and restaurants. It was summer, so we all had a lot of free time. I don't remember exactly why, but I do remember at night.
Do y'all like did you ever been to Toys R Us? Let me know when it comes to anybody ever been to Toys R Us.
Time one day, we went to one of the stores in the area, and a few of us got some snacks and things like that. When we left, we had to walk across basically the entire shopping area to get back to the neighborhood that Sam's house was in. We crossed on one of the streets at the crosswalk, and then, instead of going back the way we came, Sam suggested that we take a shortcut through the parking lot of the old Toys R Us. This Toys R Us was closed and abandoned. It had closed the previous summer. The building was on the side of the shopping center, and going through its large parking lot led to a small woods that then went to Sam's neighborhood. It was a good idea, even though we had to cut through the woods, as well as the very dimly lit parking lot. We walked through the parking lot, and Jordan got curious and began to peek inside the doors of the old Toys R Us. I followed him, and we both looked inside. He really couldn't see much, but from what I did see, it looked mostly empty and dark. However, there appeared to be a small light coming from somewhere inside, towards the back, mostly out of sight. It was as if one of the lights was on. It was interesting and sort of creepy to see the old abandoned Toys R Us like that. I had memories of going there when I was younger.
So would y'all like film a video? Let me know in the comments what y'all like go inside Toys R Us. So let me know in the comments would y'all go or not. So yeah.
I'm sure all my friends did as well. And I'm sure all my friends did as well. After looking around for a few seconds, we backed off and decided to continue heading home. We moved past the building to the side of it, where there was a small side parking lot and then the woods. As we approached the entrance of the woods, we all froze when we heard a noise. It sounded like an animal, or maybe a person, was in the woods about 50 feet down. Then, we saw the Toys R Us giraffe, or a person dressed in the old Toys R Us giraffe costume. It was an extremely creepy sight to see coming out of the woods at that time of night. He looked directly at us and just stood there. Pretty sure none of us were able to move from the shock of the situation that we were in. Then, the giraffe started to slowly move forward, all while looking.
What would y'all do if y'all saw a Toys R Us creature just standing there? Would y'all run or just stay there? Let me know in the comments what y'all do. What y'all do. What y'all think about this.
Looking at us the entire time. Before we knew it, the walk turned into a really strange looking run. The giraffe was now chasing us. All of us bolted for the woods and ran for our lives. We didn't stop until we had made it out the other side and into the quiet streets of Sam's neighborhood. Once we had made it there, we all scrambled to find each other, and then continued at a fast pace all the way to Sam's house, which was another 3 blocks away or so. After getting back, we told Sam's parents what we had witnessed, but they didn't seem too concerned about it, and looking back, if I was them, I probably wouldn't have been either. But years later, it's still one of the more creepy memories that I have. Why was there someone dressed as a Toys R Us mascot outside?
So guys, my bad the end of yep. So guys, my bad that this was
For about $1 a week, you get more than just a tow, like help with flex, lockouts, dead batteries, and more. Become a AAA member.
or do not. Yeah. Story 2.
I remember that when I was a kid, Toys R Us was my favorite store to go to. I wouldn't get to go there all that often, but when I did, it was just amazing how there was an entire big store just for toys.
Did Cameron or anybody in the family ever been to Toys R Us?
I went there a couple times.
So guys, I asked my mom, did she ever? She said she been there a couple times. Yeah.
When I was probably like 10 years old, I went with my mother one day. It was my sister's birthday later that week, and my mother was looking to get her some presents. Of course, I was happy to go with, but when we got there, we went over to the girls section, which didn't really interest me. I wanted to go over to the race cars and the action figures and stuff like that, or better yet, the video games. I knew where my mother would be, and I didn't see a big deal in going to the other end of the store while she looked. However, I only had to go a few aisles over to find some things that interested me more. Like most times I was there, I saw so many things that I wanted, and I felt like I could spend hours in the store. I came across the Lego aisle, and I saw some of the cool displays they had. That was another thing that I really liked about Toys R Us, is how they would have little displays everywhere throughout the store. Anyways, I was just looking around, and picked up a couple of the Lego people in the display just to look at them, when suddenly, I was grabbed from behind out of nowhere. I hardly noticed anybody else in the area at all that I had been there. I was really startled and looked up to see a guy with grayish hair and a blue jacket on. I then noticed his Toys R Us employee tag. He told me I wasn't supposed to touch the display and that I was in big trouble. I told the guy sorry, and he asked me where my mother was. I said she was a few aisles over and pointed. I expected the man to walk me back over to her, but instead, the guy started walking in the opposite direction, all while gripping onto my arm tightly. I told the guy I was sorry and I wouldn't do it again, but he said that it was too late. We walked up to the front area of the store, and now I was getting nervous. I thought I was in some serious trouble, and I didn't know it was really that bad. I hadn't broken anything. Then, we walked past the registers and headed out of the store for the parking lot. When we started to leave, that's when I got a really bad feeling. It wasn't until that point that it occurred to me that maybe this guy didn't work at Toys R Us at all. The problem was, now we were out of the store and my mother was still inside. His grip got tighter on my arm as we walked through the parking lot. The store wasn't too busy, and there really weren't that many cars in the parking lot. When we reached what appeared to be the man's car, I noticed there was a car parked a few rows across with a mother and another kid getting out. I waved to the kid out of kind of desperation and said hi to him. The kid waved at me, and I remember the mom seemed to look over and saw how the guy was sort of pulling on my arm. The guy must have noticed this, and to look less suspicious, let my arm go, and he now pushed on my arm instead of grabbing it. He was trying to lead me into...
My birthday is September 9th. Please, when my birthday comes, please say happy birthday in the comments. And I will please, make sure y'all guys comment, like, and subscribe if you want more videos. Bye.